One of our most popular and most versatile reports is right here in the Smart Reports module. It's called the Spend Summary Report. The Smart Reports module is open to everyone. Everyone has access to it. So you're going to click on that icon on the toolbar. You're going to come up here and click on the blue bar at the top to create a new report. If you have saved any reports in the past, they'll all be listed here, and you can come in and you can view them again or edit them to make changes. Any reports that weren't saved but have been ran within 48 hours will be listed here at the bottom. But we're going to create a brand new one, so click the blue bar at the top. You're going to start with your report type. There is a drop down, so it does default to the summary report, but what I'm going to show you today is the spend summary report. So we have other options obviously as well. Then it's just a matter of selecting your time period. We do have some shortcut buttons that allow you to just click a button and implement the specific time period based on a quarter or a year or a month, etc. Or of course you can pull up the calendar box, or you can manually type over these dates. I'm actually going to pull in some dates from the past. So I'm going to do the start date here, and then I'm going to go over here, and it's going to end on this particular date. Okay. And also you want to be cognizant, are you pulling this report based on a broadcast calendar or a monthly calendar? Okay. So if all of your campaigns are based on one or the other, that's fine. If you're combining campaigns into this report, campaigns that were built based on a broadcast calendar and a monthly calendar, there will be a notation. I'm just going to hit the next button. And then, of course, we're going to select our advertisers or clients. So you can cherry pick particular clients or advertisers if you want, or if you perhaps want to see a spending level on an agency-wide total. So you want to see how that, as an agency, how you've been distributing all of your dollars. You can do a select all, or you can combine advertisers together. The same thing with campaigns. So you can cherry pick campaigns, or you can, again, do a select all. So again, depending on what you're wanting to see, I'm going to focus on one particular campaign. We do have an optional tab for brands and products. This is obviously if you have used that brand and product feature in the campaign creation. And then finally, just the overall media types that you want to pull a report on. So you're going to select the media types by checking them off. And then, of course, you have your markets that might apply. So I'll just do a select all, or again, I can cherry pick. Here's my radio market, and then any custom markets that you might have created campaigns for. And then you're going to hit the next button. And this is the last part of the setup. You're going to designate the time period breakout. Do you want it broken out quarterly, monthly, or weekly? I'm going to do weekly. And then also, do you want to only pull up what's been ordered, or do you just want to see everything that's in the system right now, whether it's ordered or not? I'm going to look at everything that I've created worksheets for, and then we have our metrics. You have a few to choose from here. I'm just going to look at cost, but I can add anything else along with this if I want to do number of ads or spots, or if I want to add impressions to this, etc. So you can have more than one metric in the same report. And then I'm just going to hit finish, and then it's going to calculate all of that data, and then it's going to pull a report to me that is very, very flexible in how you can look at it and what you can do with it. So in this particular case, you're going to see that I've got it broken out by market, by week, and then of course on the right I have my overall totals, and then down below that I have all of the vendors for all of those campaigns with the spend broken out by week and the totals there as well. So you'll notice also at the tab you have different ways of viewing the report. So if I want to go into market details, because I had more than one market, if I want to compare each market and each vendor within that market, I can do that. If I just have, if I have more than one advertiser, I can break out to each advertiser. We also have a flowchart option. So if I want to provide a flowchart based on market as well as media type, or I can opt for this detailed flowchart option, which not only lists the media types, but then the individual vendors within each media type. And of course, these can all be exported out to different options. The other thing about charting is not only do we have the flow charts, but you can come in and some of these views will allow you to create custom charts. So for example, if I'm looking at my market details and maybe I want to create a custom chart broken out by market. And maybe I want to, we'll just say we're going to do a pie chart, for example, on cost, and I want to see all the markets. In this particular case, since I'm doing a pie chart, I just have to look at a week at a time, and all vendors, and then I can just hit submit here, and then it breaks out market by market. I can click on the name of the market, and then it breaks out to the individual vendors, in this case within Albuquerque. And all of these reports, we have this corner bar up here. You can click on to download any of these reports in the following formats. Now that was a pie chart, but maybe I want to switch to perhaps a column. And this time I want to look at all of my weekly breakouts across all vendors. And then again, you can see how they are color coded by market, week by week. And again, just click on that particular week, and then you can see the vendor breakout. And again, you have the option to export those as well. I can come in here into my advertiser details, and perhaps now I want to see, let's start with a pie chart again based on cost. We're just going to do the one advertiser, but again, I can compare them. And for all, across all, I'm sorry, let's do a different one. Let's do column across all for all vendors. Okay, so then again, if I want to show the advertiser, here's our spending levels based on each week. And then again, I can come in, click on that specific week, and again, break that out into all the individual vendors within that week.